Hello and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video. Now, in this video, as the title suggests, I'm going to be flying the BAE Hawk T1 trainer in the Red Arrows livery through the Mach loop. It really is as simple as that, although there are a few caveats. The first one is, I have not flown this aircraft since I reviewed it. The second, I have not flown the Mach loop since I last flew this aircraft in X-Plane 11 through it, and spoiler alert, I was not very good at it. And thirdly, I'm going to try to do this without a map, full stop. So I'll describe where we're going to go. In fact, let me pull up the map before I put up the intro, and I'll explain roughly where we're going to go and what we're doing. So we're currently starting here at RAF Valley. Now we're going to take off and we're going to increase, or we're going to climb to an altitude of perhaps around 20,000, 25,000 feet, and we're going to fly towards Lake Bala. So we'll climb up, we'll head roughly, what's that, 120-ish? Roughly about 120, 110, 120, somewhere around there. So that should give us a rough indication we should end up in somewhere around this area. The idea for me is to end up north of here, so if I can end up near Corwin, somewhere around this area, that will be ideal. Now this entire area is a training area anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but we're going to be flying around 25,000 feet, as I said, 25,000 feet up into this area. We're then going to transition into low level flying, and the way we're going to do that is we're going to do an overbank, turn around, head back, and we're going to try and shed off, theoretically, 15 to 20,000 feet in that bank. So that is the plan. We're then going to follow this road along, the A494. We'll follow that along roughly until about here. Then we'll go over this hill, try and stay at about 1,500 feet so that we can see the entrance into the Mach loop, because I think there's some hills here that might impede the entrance, in fact all of these bits here. So we want to ensure that, me knowing that this is a valley, we want to ensure we have a clear line of sight. So once we have that line of sight, we will go over this into the Mach loop. Apparently my parking brake has released itself for some bizarre reason. Well done, Microsoft Flight Simulator. And we're going to fly the Mach loop. Now this is the Mach loop right here. We're going to go over here. We're not going to exit at this lake. We're going to turn here. Corris Corner's right there. Cad East, Cad West is there. Forgotten the name of this lake. We'll climb through that. We'll try and do that turn, that turn, that turn. May not get this bit here. I'm not sure we're capable of doing that. Plus there's some new wind farms there, having looked on the maps before. Fly over that. That's where the Mach loop gets its name from, Machencleth. I think that's pronounced that, Machencleth. So we'll do that. We'll fly all the way around. A489, A470. Parking brake has been released again, it sounds like. No, it seems okay. A470, right found here, and we'll come back. Now we're going to do that twice if we have a chance. If the first attempt doesn't go so well, we'll do that again. And then what we're going to do is we're going to try and exit. We'll exit at a low level, try and find the A470 again, follow the A470 all the way up to this lake. We're then going to continue following the A470 all the way through here up to, actually, just looking at that, I've just confused myself. I wanted to go along here, so perhaps, right, we'll have to figure that out as we go along. All of that is, my intention is to do all of this at low level. If it is, we'll follow the A470 all the way around, join onto the A5, and then from the A5 come back along this river, along here, exit low level here to about a couple of thousand feet, maybe 5,000 feet, get back onto the Isle of Anglesey, come back in, turn around and land back at Valley. So that is the plan. There's nothing else to say. Make sure you stay tuned. Oh, actually there is one more thing to say. We'll be using head tracking. So that should make things a little bit more interesting. Okay, here we go. Time to go for it. So check. The flaps are at mid. That's fine. Let's bring some lights on because we'll probably need them. Weather looks okay so far, but you never know what the weather is going to do. So we're just going to have to be aware of the weather as we do this. And I think that's it. Here we go. Now I will say I noticed last time when I was recording that I seem to be having some issues with my flight controller, so this could cause some issues, but for now we should be okay. Gentle lift, there we go, we are up, gear up, flaps in. I think I need to move myself just a little forward. I'll trim myself for a climb. There we go. Move myself a little bit forward in my seat. So better, I think. Maybe about there. Somewhat. Cannot actually see my wings now. Okay, let's turn to a heading of, say, 120, I said. So we'll just do a gentle turn to 120, slightly over, should be okay. There we go. Let's try to reduce our rate of climb to about 4,000 foot per minute. It's only going to take us a few minutes to get there. There, I can just about see a wing. Or a wing tip, I saw. Try and get this seat in a slightly better position. I need to be able to look around, that's the problem. There we go, I can now see one wing and the other wing. Great. That is more like it. Now, the idea is, in the Mach loop, we're going to be doing approximately 400 knots through the entire thing. This is going to be interesting for me. I'm not sure, A, if I'm capable of doing such a thing, and B, if I'm capable of doing such a thing without crashing. So that we'll have to figure out. Another little airport down there. Not sure what that particular airport is. We could probably switch on the compass light. There we go. Lovely. Let's trim the aircraft just a little bit more now. There we go. That's looking pretty good. So we'll increase our speed. We're trying to get up to, well, for now, I guess 300-ish knots will be all right. Do I have any strobes flashing? I guess. I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure now. I'm not even sure where the strobe lights are. We're getting up to the altitude we want. White, red, should probably be flashing red, right? And we're nearing 20,000 feet. And now the small problem is we have a layer of cloud. Now that could be an issue. Okay. So let's ease off the throttles a bit. Ease off our trim as well. Or retrim for closer to level flight. And now I'm going to have to keep an eye out for, well, lakes. Yes. I've also drifted a little, and I think again that's to do with my controller. That is proving to be more of a challenge. Right. That's where the A470 is. There it is. That's the A470. Okay, and I think that is Lake Bala right there. So we're not doing too badly. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come off throttle a little. And the reason for that is that we're going to be doing an overbank and we're going to end up picking up quite a substantial amount of speed. And so I'd rather be at a lower speed when I do this than at a higher speed. Everything looks okay. We're roughly holding 20,000, just over 20,000 feet. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive down into low level flight, or sort of low level flight, down into along that lake, follow that along, and then we'll get it into the Mach loop, from there. I say Mach loop, it's in like Mach number, but it's not, it's Mach loop, because it's yeah. So how am I going to do this? I was going to say, is that the lake I want? Yes, it is. It's definitely the lake I want. Okay. So, we will bank to the left. 3, 2, 1. Actually, wait. Drop the throttle. 3, 2, 1. Bank. Over bank. Let's go into a descent. 4G. Keep banking. Keep banking. Line up with the lake. Keep descending. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. We'll just continue our descent as we shed off a little bit more speed. Or in fact, we're not going to be shedding off any more speed. 400 knots. We are at the speed that we're wanting. So we're just going to continue descending until we reach the altitude we want. Now, I'm fairly sure I could do a decent job at flying into the Mach loop. Exiting it, on the other hand, and actually successfully navigating it, that could be a whole different ball game. There's the road I want, straight ahead of me, so I shall follow that. At least I hope it is. Yes, I think I'm following the right road. And we shall go through this valley. Yes, we shall go through this valley here. So we're already in the low level flights now. we've done a successful transition to low-level flight. It's a little bit snowy, and that is what I've got to be careful of, is on my flight controller. That, as you can see, if I pull up just slightly too quickly for some reason, and it isn't even much of a movement, it's just a slight movement. And I said I did want to be above 1,000 feet for this. There's the entrance into the loop. That's the entrance I'm going for. So CAD East, CAD West. So we definitely need to be climbing a little, just so that we can see that entrance. And let's pick up the speed for the 400 knots. I'm going to have to be very, very cautious with this, with my controls. So my aileron controls are not a problem. It's just my pitch axis on this joystick is what's causing the issue. Okay, now this entire loop should only take a few minutes at most. There we go, we're at 400. And into the loop we go. Skimming the trees. Now, turn coming up. There we go. It's pretty good. Straighten up. And again. This is the tougher one. This is the corner. Chorus corner. And again. Bit of throttle. And for this, I do not believe we can make this one, so we go over the top of it. Then we'll dive back down. Pull this one back out this way, and we will do a full keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling all the way over into the valley. Now we're not quite done quite yet for the loop. That wasn't too bad for my first attempt, actually. I'm surprised. Well, I say first attempt, obviously I've done this before a long time ago. I'm managing to hold the speed. I'm not managing to perhaps control the direction quite as well, but definitely held the speed. And to adjust the trim settings on the aircraft just a bit. Okay, now the next point that I need to fly is, well, I'm sort of heading straight towards it. I'm going to be turning around this corner into that valley there. At least I think it's that. If it isn't, I'm in trouble. So the road will cross over, which it does. Good. There's the bridge. I think if I stay a little bit closer to this, in fact, no, it's this bit here. Right here. Follow this road around. There we go. Straighten up. Keep it fairly low. And once again, turn. Straighten up. Now that is what you call low. And then over this side, straighten up, pull, 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 over the top of this, and that is one loop done. Now, I'll try this again. Let's do one more. So we'll go back for the entrance. If I can get the aircraft to turn and face back for it. Here we go. So what I do is I'm lining up here, just at the brow of the hill, then I'll turn. There we go. That's probably a little bit too far over. That's worked sort of. And then I'm going to try to turn the aircraft 4G turns. Try not to hit that. There we go. Not quite as well done this time as last time. Yeah, see, it's those flight controls right there that's causing me some grief. Also the fact that I've slowed down a little. And then again, this is the bit that you cannot really fly into. Or maybe they can, I can't. And we'll go for this one. And then just hold 4G. What I really should do, I think, is straighten it up and then... No, it doesn't work like that. Because then that becomes something like a 6.5G turn, which is perhaps less than ideal. Okay, so that was at a slower speed, not quite as good. I think the first one was much better, but we should probably head back. I want to try one more attempt at this. I'll take one more attempt. I think the first one was fairly good. Second one was, I think, a bit slow, and I think that was what was causing problems, and sort of entered a little to the side. Right, aim over this hill. So realistically, what I'm doing is I'm just aiming for this little bit just there. That is what I'm aiming for. I'm going to slow down a bit. 450 could do. There we go. Back down to 400 as I wanted. Now that is a lot better out of here. So I've improved on that bit. Probably a bit of overbank required there. Yes, yes it is. And there we go. That's the second attempt at the loop. Let's try attempt 3, shall we? I won't try to stay quite in the... There we go. I think that... I was going to say, I won't try and stay quite to the left this time. Whoa! Blasted controls. And here I think perhaps I'm a little... I'm not sure if I'm a little low through some of this. But I mean they do get about 250 feet, so I guess it is doable. Straighten up and then back into a turn. Now this is close to the ground. This is probably the closest I've actually been to the ground. There's a little dip there that you go over. There we go. I'm not going to make that turn, so I'll just do this. And then I guess I can just do that. It's about 4-5G. really what you want to be doing is pulling 4G through these, not anymore. But obviously I'm just practicing, and I have realised I do need a new flight controller. So that is something I'm going to try and save up for. But that third attempt I think was the best of the lot, for the most part. Obviously we're still in this valley bit, which is a much more relaxing part of the loop. You really do not have to worry about anything here. I mean, I say that, obviously you do have to worry, because if you're not watching where you're going, you can very easily slam into the side of a hill. But it isn't something that, it's much easier to do this on the other side of the loop. So let's try and exit the loop now. Watch the speed. Too bad. I think this is an overbank. Yeah, this is where you overbank. Definitely. And I'm fairly sure I'm supposed to do that somewhere else as well, but oh well. And that is that done. So, let's try and get out of here now. This is where things could get interesting. So I need to find the exit road. I have no idea where that could be. So what I'm going to do, I think it's back there. Oh no, wait a minute. This could be it. Yep, this is it. So we're going to fly this road all the way out. I say all the way, I mean it's a little twisty, but we'll fly this all the way. And we'll stick at somewhat low level. So obviously we have to be above the trees because, well, naturally. If we follow this road, we can follow the river, follow the road. Doesn't really matter, we'll stay below. So the road is slightly above now. So if we just follow the river. And there's the lake that I was after. So what we shall do is we shall fly. And I'm holding 400 knots the entire way. So we'll fly straight over the lake. And then, this is where it's going to get interesting. So, I think, if we look at these roads, probably want to be heading in this direction. Like there is the road. So obviously we've climbed a fair amount here. But I can see the road that I want to follow. This isn't the road I want to follow. I've gotten myself lost. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn myself back in, look for a valley to follow and follow it. fact, that looks quite nice. Here we go. This could be something. This is something. So we'll go ahead and follow this around. Now, is that the A5? Doubt it. Looking at the direction we're going, we're not quite going in the direction I want to be going. I might try to quickly pull up Navigraph to have a look, if I can. Wait a minute, that was the A5. Okay. So I see where we need to go. I think. This is a nice area though. Yeah, if that's the A5, then I can follow that all the way. I'm fairly sure these lots are not going to be happy that an aircraft is flying over at 400 knots, because I do genuinely think I'm in the wrong place. Yep, I'm following a completely different road. That is not the A5. I'm heading towards Llandudno. Or Llandudno. That isn't very good, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off at the next available junction. i.e. I'm going to transition right now out of low level flight up to, should we say, 4,000 feet? Let's climb. Okay, going into the transition. My apologies to everybody in that town. There's the Isle of Anglesey. And continue climbing. And there we go. That's the A55 down there. So where I wanted to be was this lane here. That is where I wanted to be, right here. But unfortunately I missed that. Right, got a little bit of clouds here, but nothing too severe. We'll slow ourselves down once again. There's the airport, right there. So I think I shall probably turn for a base. Cannot remember what the airport runway was. I have no idea what the runway was. Oh well, not a problem. Not a problem. Bring ourselves down to about 3,000 feet. Gentle bank compared to what we've been doing the entire time. That's the A55 all the way, by the way. And just there is that's that town with the really long name. Clanfire Pulio something Clandacilio go. Right, it's 2,500, that seems reasonable. but we do need to slow the aircraft down. I suppose what I could do is I could just overfly the airport, and then that would give me the information. The other problem I'm going to have is that I have no idea what the landing speed of this aircraft is. So that is going to be the other problem. That's Holyhead out there, or in Welsh known as Caergypi. Okay, I see a runway. I'm roughly... okay, the run... I think it's runway 13. 13 or 14. Yep. Just looking at that. Should be okay. Let's keep slowing the aircraft down, very slowly, whilst fighting my controls. Try and make gentle adjustments. See, I can no longer make gentle adjustments. Keep it into a, well, I was going to say 30-degree bank, that's more than that. There we go, 30-degree bank. Drop the throttles a little bit more now. Going to start bringing flaps out, reducing altitude. Landing gear as well. Stage 1 of flaps. Down to 200 nearly. There's the runway. Should be able to take this all visually now, I'm hoping. Gear. Okay, that I think I'm probably going to land at around 120-ish knots in this aircraft. I can sort of feel the the aircraft starting to want to fall. Runway 14. Whoa. See, there's the issues with my flight controls. Runway 13. And yet somehow I managed to get it down. So I think on a fast jet like this, my flight control issues are far more exaggerated because every movement is obviously more. But there we go. That was the Mach loop and then getting lost. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Microsoft Flight Simulator. Leave a comment in the comments box below, letting me know what you think. Don't forget to support me on Patreon if you can do so at www.patreon.com/ecgadget. Your supports would be massively appreciated. It would really help me out. And also you can find me on social media at ecgadgetlp for both Twitter and Instagram. Lastly, You can find me on my Discord server, so if you want to join that, do go check out the description box, and my Discord server has a link there. That is all from me. Do you think I should go to visitors? I mean, the Reds are not based here, so yes, we are probably going to the visitors. Maybe. That is all from me anyway, and I shall see you next time in Microsoft Flight Simulator.